What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the show. And as you noticed, I'm alone. So Robin's running a little bit behind. He's got a few things to do. So it's just going to be me for just a little bit here. And then I'll be bringing Maria in. But hopefully, everyone had a nice week so far. Well, it's just the beginning of the week, right? So, anyway, I'm just going to talk about a few things that's going on, and then I'll bring Maria in, our guest for the night. And hey, what's up, Marcus? So if anybody is interested in booking Ashmore States, let me throw this banner up here. Bear with me because Robin does all this stuff, and I'm doing it tonight for the first time. But anyway, as you see, ashmorestates.net. If you want to go and book anything at Ashmore Estates, I know Saturday nights are pretty much all booked up. I think for almost the rest of the year. Don't quote me on that. I think he said there might have been a few dates that were still available. But yeah, just go to ashmorestates.net if you have any dates that you're interested in booking. I know that there's dates like during the week. I think there's some Fridays are still open as well. So go check that out and get your uh, get your bookings set in at Ashmore before there's nothing left. Um, Another thing is Rhodes Hotel. If anyone is interested in booking Rhodes Hotel, it's it's getting about the same way with Rhodes. As of right now, I think we've all Saturdays are booked up until where we're into August now. So it's filling up pretty quick. And we do have some Friday, like quite a few Fridays, and I think some Sundays, and even during the week, um, there's a lot of openings and stuff left. So feel free to give us a call, and let me throw that information on there as well. You can go to rhodeshotel.com. You can call the number. My sister, as a lot of you know, does the bookings, and she's busy during the day with work and stuff. So just leave her voicemail if you happen to call her. But email is probably the easiest for her to getting back to everyone. She's usually pretty quick about getting back to everyone. And yeah, with the bookings and stuff here, um, yeah, like I said, there's quite a few openings still left. So Bug Crystal, get it all booked up, and as a lot of you already know, it's helping the Lost Looms Foundation when you do book Rhodes Hotel. And another thing that's coming up is we've got public investigations every month. May is already sold out, but June, we do have it's wide open. No tickets are booked yet for June's public investigation. I don't have the date in front of me for that for the next one in June, but like I said, everything's booked up for the May investigation. So yeah, buy those tickets, support the charity, investigate Rhodes Hotel. As you see, the back side of the wall, of the hotel. It kind of changed my backdrop to the when we do the show. But anyway, on to other stuff. Um, oh, I was looking at like Facebook videos. Where it's like, what did I mess it up? I thought maybe I messed it up since this is the first time I'm doing it. So yeah, but so the next thing I was going to mention to everyone, the charity website, lostlimsfoundation.org, got an overhaul. It's completely rebuilt. Still adding some stuff on there. So if you get a chance, go to lostlimsfoundation.org and check out the new setup for the charity, which is I tried to do by myself. Whether or not I did a good job, I don't know. Um, anyway, some another bit of information. We are working on this event that we're going to try to do here later on in the year here at Rhodes Hotel, and hopefully I can put out some more information about that here pretty soon. But hopefully you guys will see something coming up a little bit later on this year about an event coming up. So hopefully But anyway, just follow those pages. Go to YouTube if you would, and follow LLF Radio, which is anybody that's just tuning in. If you haven't watched any of the other episodes, you can go find all of them there. This is episode 31 tonight, so 30 other episodes to go check out. So plenty of stuff to watch and hear all of our craziness. Like I said, Robin will be in here in just a little bit. Hopefully, he's just running behind with some stuff. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. Looks like quite a few people are jumping in. And hello again for thank you for coming in and tuning in to the show. We appreciate it for sure. Go like the Facebook page if you would for the charity for Rhodes Hotel, Ashmore Estates, and as well for the show that we do every week. But anyway, I am going to jump right into this. I'm going to pull Maria in here. She's here waiting patiently on me while I'm blabbing. So I'm going to bring her in and talk to her and see what's going on. Let's change this here. There we go. How's it going?
It's going great.
Good. Thanks for coming on and talking to me. Well, Robin here soon, but you'll be talking to both of us. But for the time being, you're stuck with just me.
We're good with that.
So how's it going? You doing okay? Is it
I'm
weather
doing well. I'm
back and forth where you're at?
Yeah, we're getting through the ups and downs of the pandemic and getting back to normal, whatever normal was. So
Yeah, as this weather is just so nuts. Like I hate this 60-degree one day and 30 the next, and then it's like 15 and then 72. Craziness, right? But hopefully it'll even out soon.
it sure will. Springtime is new beginning. So
Yeah, it's right around the corner. Well, actually, it's already spring. You know what I mean? Hopefully the warm weather is around the corner where it's going to stay that way. So, again, thanks for being on the show and stuff. And it's going to be interesting talking tonight. I know you said that usually you don't do too much with the live shows, I guess.
yeah, things usually happen with electronics with me. So we don't do very much live because I usually blow up things or something usually complicates something. So we're gonna cross our fingers. I got my crystals on, so
There you
hopefully,
go. There you go. Good deal.
yeah.
So I guess let's start off by won't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay, well, I'm Maria Iuliano, and I was born and raised in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, Canada. And I had three holes in my heart when I was born. And so when I was 5 years old, I had to go and have heart surgery for three holes. During that time, I had a complication and I flatlined. And so the the interesting thing was they said time of death, and I woke up and then I could see auras around people.
Hmm.
And here I am, 5 years old in 1980. Didn't know really too much about auras. I didn't even know what was an aura. All I could see was these colors on people. But while I was under and having a near death experience, I met an angel, and his name is Fijal, and he's my guardian angel, and I could still hear him. So I have medium abilities because I can tap into your angels, and Fijal, he can tap into them as well. So I have these abilities. I can still see auras years later, and each color tells me a story. So those of you who don't know what an aura is, it's like an energy field around you. But I have a double gift. I see the aura here at the kind of like above your forehead, and that's your current life. And then I see a past life aura, which is kind of in the back of your head there. So I
Hmm.
have a double gift, and each color tells me a story about what's going on in your current life and what happened in the past, and I could see if it bleeded into your current life.
Interesting.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm uh, I'm all into interesting things.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's, this is like, this is one of those topics that I'm always interested in hearing because there's so many different stories. I mean, so many different people have different things that's happened to them or whatever that's, how they've gotten the gift, that they have. And just, it's interesting to hear, how things come about with each person you talk to and, and how things are going for them, now at the moment. And just like, because I mean, I'm sure like, well, I mean, I'm assuming that it's probably like the whole time, it's just like a learning experience. I mean, I'm guessing. Um,
Well, for me, it's like a curse and and it's a reward at the same time because I know a lot about what's going on with people. So it's hard for me to go in the grocery stores. It's hard for me to kind of go everywhere because I
mhm,
know what each color means and I can give them messages and I can help them with their life because I went to school and I became a peace therapist. A peace therapist. So I just didn't want to be one of those people named a medium. I wanted to have some accreditation. So
yeah,
I help people find inner peace using alternative therapy, which is my gift.
yeah. So you hear these stories about people. Like just like you said, you can read things. I mean, from people, like you hear these stories of like there's sometimes people will run across a few people that just somehow block them out from being able to read them.
Yeah. Yeah, if I don't see an aura, I know exactly what's wrong. It's
Mhm.
not what's wrong. You're actually a spirit. You're from a different dimension. So I figured that out. The other thing is, I just believe that I'm a messenger, and I can give you the messages, and what you do with them is your your choice.
Mhm.
It is hard to see some colors. And I protect myself using different things like crystals and smudging and using the grounding system. So I
Mhm.
do use those and I use the bubble system. There's all kinds of ways to protect your energy. For me, I just feel that there's a lot of shifting going on right now in the world, and a lot of people are waking up, and so I can see those colors. I don't really like to see certain colors like light orange or black. I don't like to see those auras. Black usually means you have an addiction. Light orange means you keep repeating the same mistakes over and over. It also means that you're close to the staircase. You're going to the top of the stairs, and then you, instead of just taking the risk, you go back down. So it's just repeating the same things. I do see a lot of purples. Purples to me mean forgiveness, and they're in pain. Usually, they're not forgiving themselves. And the top of the color that I usually see is blues. Blues mean depression, sadness, scared, pain, emotionally. So that's some of the colors that I experience. And if I see fuchsia, I usually run the other way because fuchsia means
Time to take
you,
off.
fuchsia means they're mad and they're pissed off and watch
Mm,
out. So
mm,
and so I've learned the different colors, but I learned the colors in a very unique way. During my journey, when I was 5 years old, I recovered from my heart surgery and I met different spirits in heaven. I went to different dimensions in heaven. And when I returned, I went to a Catholic school and I told the classmates and I told the nun, she was the principal and the school counselor, what
mhm.
I saw. And that didn't really go very well. So I was punished for that. and I was put in a special class for behavior. I had no behaviors, but because
Hmm.
I talked about heaven and meeting all
Yeah.
these interesting spirits and the dimensions I went to, they thought I was sort of strange, and I had paranormal visions, and because I could see spirits and talk to ghosts and things like that. So
Hmm.
it just I didn't know what to say and what to do at that point. I was 6 years old. And when I went to this special class, I could see um, the colors emerge. For instance, it was all to do with behavior. So
Hmm.
I noticed that a lot of kids in that class had a lot of fuchsia. So I was like, oh, I wonder what fuchsia means. Well, I figured that out. They were angry and they would start yelling and swearing. So eventually I learned what the colors all meant. And then in my 20s, I learned that the colors blend with other colors to tell me more of the story. So people call auras, or they call them energy fields, whatever you want to call them. And everybody has a psychic or a medium ability. So, yeah.
One of the things, like you, I'm sure, in list like reading your bio and stuff, like with things. I mean, it sounded from what I understood from it, you were saying something about it was discouraged. I mean, with everything, like I mean, that you had a lot of issues with when you would try to talk about this. I mean, you were basically told there were consequences. I guess. I mean, from talking about it, right?
Well, I was raised in a Roman Catholic faith, and whatever
Yeah.
was not in the Bible was considered evil or just not it wasn't true. So, me talking about I'm meeting a man at the gate who was Jesus, and then me meeting a guy with fuzzy hair, which was Mr. Albert Einstein, they didn't believe me, and I met other spirits. So they just told me that there was no. They just. I still remember the school counselor with her finger sticking up. That finger, I tell you, it haunts me to this day, and she just said that I never went to heaven. And if I continue to talk about heaven and angels again, I'd be taken away and put in a different type of hospital. And so as a child, I was 6 years old, I had this amazing gift. I went to these different
Yeah.
dimensions. I didn't know what to do, but I was very happy to have been there, and then I was shut down as I was telling the story. So
Did that discourage you? I mean, at some point to where you just kind of said, "Forget about it," and then at some point, obviously, you come back to it? I mean, did that happen?
it did, because I was put in a special education class, and they told me all kinds of stuff about me. The adults, the nun, the school counselor, and the psychologist. They said that I was dumb and I was very slow and I had a wild imagination and I'd never get anywhere in my life. All kinds of things just to shut me up. And I just so I was scared and the school counselor, actually, she came to my home, which was very unusual, and she never even had a reason. She just came there to check up on me, she kept saying to my mother, which was but then she would tell me at school, I know where you lived. Very, very kind of, I wouldn't say she was evil, just a very discouraged and very lost soul she was. And
Yeah.
I believe she still is, because I do see her around town. I can see the colors on her in her aura. Um, I was discouraged, and my mom did get some information about what I was sharing. So my mother just told me to just talk about it at home and not to say anything at school. So
Yeah.
I did that. But again, I wanted to share the information I had. And I don't think in 1981, I don't think people were ready for what I knew about what I saw.
Yeah. Yeah, we're kind of looking over here. We're getting a bunch of questions and stuff in here, so
Sure.
um, just gonna
Yeah,
throw some of them out here.
so Fijal is here, by the way. So,
Okay,
um, yeah, so we are a team. So it's Maria Iuliano with Fijal because he guides me with what to say, and he also has his own opinion about what's going on here. So yeah, so
okay.
what question do we have here?
Yeah, I don't know if you can see them up on the screen or not. Do they pop
Here's
up
on
on
what.
there? But
So what an angel looks like? Well, Fijal actually looked like he's quite handsome actually. He had like a white robe. It was kind of like I guess you could see like I'm not sure if any of you's been to one of those what do you call those parties that they wear sheets around
oh,
them.
toga, is that right? Toga
Toga,
part? Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
he had just a regular sheet, a white sheet.
Hmm.
He looked human. One thing about angels are that their skin is very clear, and they don't blink. They just kind of stare at you. They
Yeah.
don't blink, and they're very calm and gentle, and they're just like us. It's just they have a more of a cleaner appearance.
Okay, interesting. Trying to like kind of find through like because I know we got a bunch of questions popping up on here, so I'm like just trying to scroll through here and find some of them. Let's see. Uh, physical pain affect the colors.
Yes, physical pain does affect the colors. Emotional pain is usually blue, and it's usually associated with either fuchsia or it's usually sometimes if I see someone with light purple, I know that they have a secret and it's really hurting them. There's two different kind of blues. One is uh, the one blue is it's a lighter one. It's loss of self, which means you're actually lost yourself in this world. And then there's another blue that means like you're depressed, you're sad. Usually it means something has occurred, like a crisis. And they usually are blended with other colors.
Mhm.
Pain usually is kind of like a hot orange, and it depending on if you take medication, I can see a little bit of black. That meaning that you're either more medicating or using a different type of item, like marijuana or drinking to
Yeah,
reduce the pain. So
yeah, yeah. I was curious about that. Like, if there's people have multiple things going on, if you're, if you know what I mean, if it's like a rainbow effect type deal, you know what I mean? Um,
yeah, the other thing is if I see your aura swirling, that means I know that you have anxiety, you are very stressed, and you're just very lost, and your aura just kind of like is all over the place. So you are all over the place, and I don't really like to see the swirls because that's when I have to give you a message to like calm down and see if I can help you. So
yeah. Okay. Let's see here. Trying to like scroll through here and just start picking up these
oh yeah,
questions and stuff
great.
on here. Yeah, that way bring everybody in here and get them involved. It's like I like to get the viewers and kind of involved too and ask
Hey,
some of the questions.
Vigil and me are great. So the other
Good.
question we have here is, did the colors have a glittery or shiny aspect? No, the colors are just very peaceful. They just blend, and there's different colors depending on your emotional state. So I also do readings. So sometimes I'll ask questions, and your aura changes based on your answers to the questions or your emotional state.
Yeah. Let's see. Katie asked something else on here too. Um, it's about
Shimmery
the colors.
quality. So if you could
Masculine.
can if you could see like the blue behind me, that's what they look like. They're not sparkly, glittery. They're very a soft color. Some are bold. They're not shiny or glittery. It's a very peaceful colors that I see.
Okay. Let's see here. trying to get everybody in. We're getting all these questions in your color
Can
rings. Or,
diminish
go
if
ahead,
your
sir.
vibes are low. I don't usually see them diminish. I usually just see certain colors. So, like a lot of blues, light orange, purple. That's what I usually see. I have a double gift, so I will always see either the back or the front, unless you don't have an aura, and that means you're a spirit and you're just kind of traveling here in in a shifted reality. So
So, um, I might have missed this if you mentioned kind of anything about this on here, but like if something is a little more intense with someone, like you said,
yeah.
like the anxiety, like if it's more intense, I mean, is it brighter colors? You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like that color, does it seem more intense? You know what I'm trying to say, right?
Well,
I'm
it's
getting all sort of,
yeah. Hey, no, I get it. I get it. It's usually a swirl. If your aura, usually I see the aura from like left to the right around
yeah,
you.
yeah.
So if I see it swirling, then I know that there's a crisis going on, and it's probably a good time to just have a nice little chat with you, and to to see if you have anything to share. Some people are very private, and they just, they don't want to talk in front of, where they are, and especially a stranger. I'm a stranger, but
Yeah.
I have a gift. Fidel tells me what to say, so I don't offend people.
I have times that like people ask me, they're just like, "Don't you want to know, like, what's going to happen or what you're going to do later on, all that stuff?" And I'm like, "No, honestly, I don't." It's like I really don't. It's like
Really?
I,
Wow. Okay.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I guess in a sense, maybe it's, I don't know. Maybe maybe just the shock factor, I guess, from everything that happens. Just
Well,
like, oh wow, I can't believe this. I don't know. I mean, it's
well, Fidel tells me you like to trust the universe, and that's good. That means when you trust the universe, you gain actually more fortune, more luck, and you
mm,
do and hopefully you provide the universe with some knowledge as well, and help the universe out too. So
interesting. Okay. And yeah, Katie asked, "What color is infection?"
an infection, like a medical
Mhm.
condition.
I'm guessing that's probably what she meant by it.
We don't know
I don't know.
what
I don't know.
illness you have. We just
Mhm,
see a color. If you have a reading with me, then what happens is we go through different questions, and then Fijo actually answers uh, if you're ill, and if you have. And he always gives you the solution. So we always give you the reason, and we always give you the solution, because I have an education in conflict resolution. So we believe that we create our own conflicts with not dealing with the subconscious mind, and not dealing with past lives and the Akeshi records.
mhm. See, this is all. It's interesting hearing all this because I mean, I don't know. This is, but it's an interesting topic. Like I said, it's interesting to hear the different, but means of like how things have happened to others. With getting the gifts that they have and stuff.
Yeah, well, I mainly deal with clients who are very lost, and who have midlife crisis. We don't call them midlife crisis in my education. We call them crises that haven't been dealt with, and they just kind of blew up. And usually it's in the 40s and the 50s when you have these crises, is because that's when you slow down in your life, and you're not as physically fit as you used to be. And then of course your kids are usually grown up, or they're settled. So we usually deal with people also that have paranormal activities, like they see spirits or they see ghosts, and
Hmm.
how to help them understand about the in-between world, and how to be assertive, because they're in your space, but in reality they're just in a shifted reality, and you see that reality. And in society sometimes will not see your shifted reality, and that's why a lot of people, they're labeled crazy and stuff like that. And we don't
Mhm.
believe that. We don't believe that people are crazy. We believe that people just have layers of shifted realities, which means like they see spirits and they see another reality on top of another reality. And so that's actually a gift. So, yeah.
Yeah, I always wondered, like, if people could pick up, like, I mean, like, if something was going on health wise with someone, I mean, if there was something that they were going to be facing that's really, really bad, like it's sometime in the near future or a couple years or whatever, if that was something that could be picked up on. And
It's
um,
usually picked up during the session.
mhm,
If they ask us, we just kind of explain what their aura is during the
mhm,
reading, and if they have a specific question, then we tailor that information, and then whatever else Fidel says. So sometimes we've told people that you should get your kidney checked and you should get like this checked, and they do get it checked, and it's a good thing that we do suggest that. It's just some people don't want to know that information, so
yeah.
they usually have a specific question for us.
Mhm. Yeah, see, I mean, it's like some of it, obviously, if there's something, like if there's something crazy going on with me, there's part of you would kind of want to know, and then there's that part of you who are just like, don't, not so much, because I think, I'm one of those. I'd just be stressed and worried about it, and just, what I mean. It's just like, yeah, I don't know.
Well, a
But
lot of people go to the psychics and the tarot cards and things like that, and that's great. Uh,
yeah,
just for me, I'm always cautious because you don't want to be attached to the message that they give you and
hmm,
manifest it, because we are very good at manifesting. We just don't, some of us don't know how good we are, but we are. So
yeah,
I'm authentic. I received my gift when I flatlined, and then I woke up to see the auras. So I I for me, I don't say I'm an I, we are a team. So,
hmm,
and yeah, so I did go visit a lot of dimensions in heaven. And so I base my books on the different dimensions that I visited. And a lot of movies actually have the different dimensions that I visited in certain movies. So it's really
interesting.
surprising. Yeah. For instance, the Adjustment Bureau by with
Hmm,
Matt Damien, he
yeah,
has these men dressed up in suits.
hmm,
They're actually part of the Valley of Angels, but in the movie they're depicted quite ruthless in that. But they're not. They're just, but they're giving you some information that they are angels. And in the movie, there's this library, and that's called the Book of Library. So you choose your book, and I went there in heaven. So that was quite interesting to see that they incorporated that. And then, of course, my favorite is City of Angels with Nicolas Cage.
hmm,
Uh, he was an angel, and yes, we do have angels here, and they do look human. Interesting enough, when there was a scene that he was near the water, and all the angels were dressed up in black, and it looks like they were doing Tai Chi. So that is actually where the angels go when we don't listen to them, because they just hit their heads. So when we sleep, they meet and they talk about our day. We have 12 angels each. And so these angels, they talk about our day,
hmm,
and they give us signs, but if we're not living in the moment, we miss the signs. And well, then they keep repeating the signs, and then hopefully we get the signs, and if we don't, then we get into like situations or injuries, and so then they have to kind of clean them up. So, and they're planning everything for us.
hmm,
Yeah. So there's a lot of movies that have a lot about heaven. They just, a lot of people might not realize it or pick that up. So,
yeah. So here, Marcus asked if If you died previously and come back, does your aura change?
It does change more to a gold and white because you've been on the other side. So yeah, your aura does change. Your aura changes every minute. Every emotion it changes. So if I ask you a question how your job is, your aura will change. And then if I ask you a question, how's your kids, your aura is going to change. So your aura changes all the time.
Mm,
So a lot of people will get their aura pictures. Well, that's great, but in a minute your aura is going to change anyways. So
yeah.
makes you really think.
Can
Yeah.
you tell a little bit more about like your experience, when you had the near death experience?
Yeah, sure. So when I had the near death experience, I could see myself. I was floating, and I can see all the doctors rushing in and doing the surgery. And then when I saw this beautiful white light, which was when I met Fijal, we walked in the hallway, and I turned around to see myself lying on the table. And he told me that he was going to take me to a special place, and the craziest thing, and it was like it was in a movie, is not even a blink of an eye. I just turned, and all the furniture and everything around me was just moved quickly, and I was in another dimension. And I did see the white light, and I ended up in different dimensions. I went to the Book of Library. I went to the Valley of Angels. I went to the spirit, one of the where we're reincarnated. There's actually books that we have on our table every time we're reincarnated. There's books, and then I also went and saw other different spirits that were. I still to this day don't even know their names. Like I can describe them, but I'm
Hmm.
still looking into that. Um, in heaven, they don't walk; they glide. So that's a gliding thing they do. Um, and there's different levels. So the you always see like heaven as blue and white. Well, that's the lower level. If you go higher, there's more of taupe and more cream colors. So, and you get to see all the loved ones that you did have here, um, and their personalities do not change. They are much nicer. So if you had someone that, you know,
Not
um,
so nice. Yeah.
they're nice without the ego.
Hmm.
I also saw someone go through the gate. I didn't go through the gate. They always talk about the gate. There is a gate.
Hmm.
I didn't go through the gate. I went around the gate, so I did see what happens. After you meet your loved ones, then you just you can come down to earth and visit your loved ones. Usually, when you pass away, you will hang out uh, with your family, and that's why a lot of family members they always say, "Oh, I saw something. I could feel that he's around or she's around,"
Hmm.
because they are. They usually wait until the funeral or the service is done, and then they go into the in between worlds. And so your guardian angel will go with you, and
Yeah.
they review your whole life from you when you were born. So like you're watching a movie, and the different decisions that you've made, and the outcome of your decision, kind of like the movie Scrooge. I always compare it to.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And a lot of Catholic people will say it's purgatory, but it's a very peaceful way of helping you understand your life, and the learning objectives that you chose when you created your soul.
Hmm.
And so you go through that, and if there was a really a tragic incident or something that you just were having difficulties with, you can repeat the same situation over and over. That's why in the in between world, that's where the spirits and the ghosts hang out. So when we're sleeping, there they come out because it's quieter, and they're doing what's called their therapy session. So the in
Hmm.
between world is a therapy session, and there's a show called Saving Hope, and it's a TV show where the doctor actually goes into a coma, his name is Charlie, and then he comes out of it and he can see ghosts and spirits, and he actually went to the in between world. So it's quite interesting, that series. And so I went to the in between world. It's a
Mhm.
little scary, that world. We have a lot of spirits and ghosts that are attached and trapped, and they're going through their own therapy. And imagine you going through therapy 24 hours a day. I think you would be a mad too. So,
Yeah, be a mess, right?
well, and the other thing is, if we are awake at night, they don't like that because we're
Mhm,
disturbing them. So I teach people how to be nice to ghosts and how to respect them, and there are ways of staying in your house with a ghost. I
mhm.
actually teach that. So
I remember there was like this show. I don't think it was on very long, but I remember one of the things was there was this kid. I can't remember how old he was now, but I think he was young. I mean, 5, 6 years old, maybe 7. I don't know. He was younger, but he had talked about how he was another person at one time, was explaining how he died, what happened to him, said his name, I guess, and like after through all the research and everything, they come to find out that this was actually a person and this is how they actually died, and the kid was spot on.
well, yeah, we repeat our lives. When we're in the in between world, it's our choice to return back here, or we can go to heaven, or we can go to other dimensions.
Mhm,
Usually we will repeat here. And I know pop a lot of listeners are saying, "Are you crazy? I'm not coming back here." But the truth is, when you're in the in between world, you don't have ego. It's really tiny, and you mainly lead with the heart. So here's a contract that you agreed to deliver all these learning objectives, to learn everything, and
mhm.
you kind of see yourself, you know what, I kind of want to go back and I want to try again. So that's why
Yeah.
we are at 7 billion people, and it's growing quite quickly. And the reason why it's growing quite quickly is each year, heaven sends new souls, but we have existing souls that would like to complete their purpose, and so they come back. So it's we're not completing our purpose. That's the problem.
Mhm. Yeah.
And if people would support and help people with their purpose, then you wouldn't see as many people on earth.
Yeah.
So
Let's see. And figure out try to pull up a couple more questions here.
sure, Fijo is really excited. He's saying I'm doing a great job.
Good. Yeah, this is interesting. Yeah, I'm having a good time like learning all this stuff. And
Oh, good.
yeah.
Okay, can you read this? Because I'm.
It says, can you tell the difference between benevolent or I can't even talk, malevolent immediately when experiencing an entity?
Well, for me, I could see if there's an aura. So if there's not an aura, then I know that they're a spirit. Usually they're a messenger.
Hmm.
Um, if I see if and they usually look like a human person, and they usually give messages. If I see a spirit, I can tell it's a little different, like in the in between world, because they're not as clear and as colorful.
Hmm.
Yeah, and usually the human spirit, and this is with they look like a human and they don't have an aura. It's usually because they're giving me a message. So yeah.
Actually, had another interesting questions on here. He said, "Do you think angels speak through us through symbolic dreams?"
So in my education, dreams are a part of your past lives. It's releasing from your subconscious mind. And so there's different people that you see in dreams, and sometimes you say, I don't even know these people in dreams. Well, the truth is, you probably did in a past life. So it's just a glimpse of what you experienced in a past life. And dreams do tell you a story. There is actually a course you can take called Lucid Dreams, and I believe it's through. I think DreamWorks is one of the courses that you can take, and you can dissect the dream, and it tells you a lot about your current state or what happened in the past. And people that talk to you in a dream, it's usually a message for you.
Mhm. When he when he mentioned that, like the first, like for some reason, like the movie Final Destination popped in my head. Like the just like when you get all the little signs and stuff, like the first one when he's on the plane and like the little piece snaps off and then he snaps out of it and it snaps off and he's like, oh, gotta get off the plane. You know.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, it makes you wonder. Then yeah, I always wondered that too. Maybe there's just like these little signs if you just pay attention to them, and if you can
Mhm. Oh,
somewhat
yeah.
figure out some things, I guess, to an extent. And of
Uh,
course, I wonder if there's some things that we're just maybe not meant to know.
well, a lot of people say, "If I know so much, how come I don't know everything about my life?" And, um, Fijo doesn't tell me a lot about my life. He tells me a lot about other people's lives, but I have to learn for myself because I chose my book of life. And the other
Hmm.
thing is, then I wouldn't be a very good therapist if he taught me everything. I wouldn't know how to feel. I wouldn't know how to react to certain things. So that's one thing. And if you are someone with a gift like myself, you have to be careful that you're not abusing your gift. The universe
Yeah,
doesn't like when you abuse your gift. So,
yeah. Pulling up this other one. I don't know if Katie said that she woke up during a surgery in her youth and she experienced a locked in situation. She said, um, let's see.
watch the remaining
Oh, she has.
discussion.
Oh, yeah. She's saying she's gonna watch the remaining. She had to go. She put a message in there saying she had to go for a little bit. But
Oh,
yeah,
so
uh,
she woke up during surgery and in my youth experienced a lock-in situation.
yeah,
It could be that you were astral traveling and you ended up in that situation. Usually, with dreams, it either is you did it in a past life or
hmm,
you were like a visitor. Sometimes you'll go into different dimensions when you dream.
hmm,
um I always tell people a lot of people tell me I don't believe in paranormal. Well, guess what? If you sleep, you are in a paranormal life because you do not know what happens to you and your body when you sleep. And that's why I wrote a book called Sleep with an A.
yeah. I noticed that. Yeah, in the bio and everything. I think I put that picture in the
Yes, yeah.
flyer for. Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Okay, so here's another question, of course, which is well, I'll get to that one here in just a minute because it's asking on contacts and stuff. So
Oh.
we're getting close to being out of time. So
Oh, well,
um,
we missed
well, yeah,
Robin.
Robin just missed out. So
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
he had a few things he had to do. So yeah, he wasn't sure exactly when he would be on. So I told him, nah, no problem. I'll take care of it. Let's see. Let me pull this one up here that Michelle asked. Do those with the ability to see, hear, or feel spirit have a gift? Are we reincarnated with it, or do we have, or have we all had NDAs?
Well, near-death experiences usually happen when people are on Earth for a very long time. It
Hmm.
just kind of gives the heavens say, "Hey, you know what? This this soul has been there for a long time. Let's remind them where they actually came from." So, what they do is when you have a near-death experience, you usually get a gift to help you get through this current life, so you can go and make a decision and hopefully go to heaven because you've been here for a very long time. When I had my near death experience, I went to this one area. It was an office. It was very unusual. I don't know why I saw an office, but there was this cabinet, and my guardian angel Fijil pulled out this scroll, and it had all the names of all the souls. I was the top 10 in that list that forgot where I came from, which was heaven, and it said near death experiences, and my name was on the list. And I've been here like a trillion years. I'm a very old soul, and how you could tell someone is an old soul is when they're born with some health issues, because health issues are from past lives. So before you passed away, you didn't resolve those issues and you bring them back when you were reborn again. So, and with me, I had
Interesting.
three holes in my heart. So I had a lot of broken hearts, and I have a book about that coming out soon, so I'll explain it in that book. It's a long story, but
Mhm.
that's what. So when you have a near death experience, you do have a special gift. But Vigil is telling me something. So can let me just hear what he says here. So he's saying that we all have gifts. It's just some of us are not ready to receive them or to tap into those, investigate. We all have gifts. We are all mediums. And he's saying that we all have an intuition. It could be the gut feeling that you have. It could be like tingling, like sometimes people say, "Oh, my hair just stood up in the back of my neck." It could
Yeah.
be that you get chills, and it also could be a little voice saying, "Don't do that. Do this." Like, so we all have abilities. It's just you have to tap into them.
Mhm.
And if you're leading with the logic, uh, then you're probably not going to find your ability because you're not open to it yet.
Yeah. So while we still have a few minutes left, I saved this question because they were asking how can we reach you for a session? So yeah, this is the point where go ahead and tell us where they can find you at and all that good stuff.
Yeah. So you can find me at fidgal.com, Fidgal. And I do peace sessions with medium abilities. You can email me at info at fijal.com, and we can either do a video chat with you, we can meet you face to face if you're in my area, or you never know, I'm usually traveling a lot, giving presentations and visiting other cultures and just exploring the world.
Yeah.
um, there is a podcast that I have every week. It's on theborderline.ca, and it's called The New Normal. And I actually talked to Fidel. We have a co host. He asks us questions about life here on Earth. And I channel Fidel, and he gives peaceful answers to resolving a lot of issues that we have here. So, yeah,
Interesting. And then like your books and stuff, people can get your books and everything on the website and stuff as well, right? And
you
then
can
the
get
new one that's coming out.
Yeah, you can get the books on Amazon worldwide. Uh, our author's name is Fidgal, Fidgal, and we have Crisis of Spirit. That's the first book, and it tells you who I met in heaven, and it tells you my journey. And then Direct Every Angel to Heaven, and that is an acronym called Death, and it tells you what I saw in heaven. And then Sleep,
Mhm.
it's SLEAP, and that's spirits, lives, ego, angels, paranormal. And that talks to you about the in between world and how to deal with spirits and ghosts, how to protect your energy, and how to
Mhm.
see certain messages from the other side.
It's been interesting for sure. So yeah, yeah, we appreciate you being on tonight. Sorry, Robin didn't make it back, but yeah, like I said, I wasn't sure if he was going to make it because it's
Well,
some other stuff he had to take care of. Huh?
he missed out. We're going to have to do another one with him.
He did, yeah. We'll have to do that. We'll definitely have to have you back. Maybe once you get your other book and stuff out, then maybe we can get you back
Yes,
and
I'm
we can
I'm
discuss it.
I'm working on a couple books. So a lot
Cool.
of people are waiting for the Valley of Angels. They want to know what angels they have. So I'm working on that. I have a waiting list for that one. So
Good deal. Yeah, good. Yeah, we'll looking forward to it for sure. So I guess we will wrap it up here, and I'll let you go and won't keep you any longer. And again, thanks for being on. Appreciate it. Thanks for all the information. It's definitely been an interesting episode tonight. So thanks again.
Well, we thank you very much for having us and listening to our crazy stories. Sometimes people say that. So
Well, thanks again, and maybe we'll run into you sometime in an event somewhere or something then.
that would be nice.
All right. Well, we'll see you.
All right. Well,
All right.
peace.
See you. All right. Well, that's about all for the episode tonight, guys. Thanks for everyone tuning in. And of course, thanks to Maria for being on the show and stuff tonight. Appreciate it for sure. I am going to attempt to show our video that we show at the end, hoping I don't mess this up. If I do, I don't know. Robin can fix it next week when we're back on. But anyway, thanks again for tuning in. Here's the video we always show at the end, and we'll talk to you next week. Next week we have Heather Taddy on. So see you guys next week. My name is Mike, and I'm the founder of the Lost Limbs Foundation. The Lost Limbs Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that provides assistance to amputee children in need of prosthetics. I started the charity after my own struggles after my leg being amputated just above the knee. Prosthetics cost thousands of dollars, and the average lifespan is 5 to 7 years on a prosthetic. Kids are constantly growing, so they'll go through multiple prosthetics throughout their life. This is the prosthetic leg that I use, and the cost was about $70,000. The Rhodes Hotel is in Atlanta, Indiana, and is owned and operated by the Lost Limbs Foundation. We are currently doing photo shoots, ghost hunts, and special events to help raise money for the charity. For more information, you can go to lostlimbsfoundation.org. With your help, we can help these kids one step at a time.